Welcome to episode 30 of Why Civilization Started Over. In the last episode, we saw the creation of. We saw the conference, at the Alton Conference, which talked about dividing up Africa, in which the Lime team walked out and warned all of Africa, and then all of these countries with the 6-point star declared war on Africa, except for South Africa, which got away. However, all of the African countries, except for them, what's the alliance? There it is. All of the African countries, I still have this down here. Ignore that. All the African countries are in this war, but I will still be marking them with the square that way, because there are going to be a few countries that join this war that are not in Africa, so it'll be good to know who those are. Okay, there are now squares, I think, on every African country except for South Africa Union, because they're not in this. But anyways, there will be some non-African countries in this war, the first of which is obviously the Lion Team, which is already in this war. But another one that's going to be joining is going to be a country that already has some land in Africa, but isn't an African country. And that is, of course, the Dark Grey Team. They're joining because they have a defensive pact with this pink team here. Plus, some of these European countries might want some land that they have, so they're going to be joining. Also, I just realized I forgot to. I took the square from this one. What the? There we go. So now there's squares on everything. But anyways, to start this off, we see the Lime team and green team start pushing into each other. So the green team is going to push in over here a bit, while the green team will push in over. The green team will push in over here, while the lime team pushes in over here. They'll push up and get right outside this city here, while the green team will push down like this. Swiss troops will arrive to help out the green team, and while the Lime team is the strongest country in the world, the green and Swiss combined is strongest, so they'll push back quite a bit. Push them almost completely back to the border. Meanwhile, over here, we're going to see the Lime team make a landing on Corsica and push up to this major city here, taking all of this province here. Anyways, though, going over here, this country here is in a very bad spot as well. They are surrounded by countries, and we will see both of these Iberian countries, plus Green France, all invading over here. We see them start pushing in. As the pink team will also push into the lime team over here, but these two will get over to what used to be the capital of a country that was here like 1,000 years ago now, and it will be taken. As they push through these provinces here, and they continue to push into the lime team from over here. Meanwhile, over here the lime team will take this island from the pink team. And they're also going to try to make a landing over here in Green France to try and knock them out of the war, which, if I was to rank all of the countries in both sides, the African side, it would go the lime team at 1, followed by the gray team, then probably the yellow team, followed by the orange team, which is not part of it, but they are an African country, so anyways, then this purple team. Next up would probably be the pink team, followed by this country over here. And then these other two here, the blue one and this like yellow, goldish, brownish color over here. I don't know what color to call them. They're probably about equal for last place. Meanwhile, in Europe, it would go the Swiss, followed by the Dutch, followed by this country here, then the green French country, followed by either, I'm going to give it to the pink Iberian team, then green Italy, followed by either the Scottish or German country next, the weakest being the red Brittany country. But they're all pretty strong, though, and all this, the two combined, Europe is probably stronger, but since the Africa is defending and they're used to the terrain down here, they will have the home advantage. So anyways, though, we will see the pink Iberian team continue to push into the lime team. However, some of it will hold out over here. Meanwhile, going back over here, the lime team will make a landing over here in this city here and start pushing in. But Green France will push them off. They will then make another landing over here in both the Swiss and Green France, but this one also won't last long as they get pushed out of both. Now I should probably, anyways, I'm going to show the navies. Okay, anyways, here we have the navy map. So over here we will see the French push the lime team's navy back a bit. We'll also see the lime team push the pink team's navy back a bit as they get close to the capital, which they will eventually get naval superiority over here as they push the pink team's navy into over here. Afterwards, the blue team here will push the navy a bit, but they will not fully destroy it. And the lime team is making plans to land here and take the capital of the pink team, hoping to knock it out of the war. However, while that's happening, over here in Corsica. The green team is pushing it back against the lime team's navy and will eventually completely surround the island of Corsica, and with this they will push against the lime team's troops, and they cannot escape and they all die. They will then make a landing in Sardinia, which will go successful. Along with that, over here they will continue to push in, getting close to the capital. They'll also with help from the Swiss, they will completely push out the lime team over here, and will then push in and take this major city here, as things are not going well for the lime team. Back over here, these two are continuing to push into the blue team here, pushing them over here, and getting them to the coast, where they will surround this city here, and push them out of Iberia. Along with that, with help from the French Navy, the pink team is going to push back against the lime team's navy as they push them out of over here. And if that wasn't bad enough, this country here is going to send out their navy to go down here, meet up with the navy of this team here, which it will then start pushing back against as it pushes their navy out from over here, taking control of this area here and threatening the capital. Afterwards, they'll make a landing in the capital and take it, killing the leader. With this, they will start pushing through Africa pretty quickly. And if that wasn't bad enough for Africa, the lime team has been pushed out of Iberia as well. And things are not looking good for Africa. Over here, we gotta talk about something. So this country here joined to help out their allies, so they are in the war. However, their neighbor to over here, the red country, well, they see this as an opportunity to get land, so they send their forces into the green country over here, quickly pushing in and gaining control of these provinces over here. Now, the green team had sent a lot of his troops over here to help out with this. However, they did keep some troops here just in case, and these troops will start to push back against the red team, but they won't push back much as the red team is a lot stronger. Meanwhile, over here something happens. A ship is going past, and a gray team ship mistakes it for one of the ships over here from one of the countries on the 6-star team and sinks it. However, the country that ship belonged to was not part of the 6-star team. In fact, they were at the conference but did not join the war. That was Ugal, and after the ship got sunk, the leader is kind of mad, and, well, the gray team kind of just got themselves another enemy, as Yugo will kind of join this war. They only declare war on the Grey Team, though, which ends up pulling this country into war, but just against Yugo. And along with that, this country is also against Yugo. So Yugo is just at war with these three here, so yeah, let's make them like a different color, like an orange. So that means they're kind of in the war, I guess. I don't know. Just for now, though. In the future, that does not mean that. But after this event happens, the red team decides that now's a good time to invade this country over here, which they wanted to invade earlier, but couldn't because of the gray team. However, now they're all at war with the gray team, so why not just push in? Along with that, they'll start pushing into the gray team, which will lead to the gray team needing to pull a lot of its troops back over here. And, well, things are not looking good for Africa, but things are about to get worse as well. There's other countries around here that want to expand. One of those being Cyprus, and seeing this war, they decide to join in and start pushing into New Sinai. As they push in and take these two provinces quickly, they then push down and take this major city. Sinai was not expecting this at all. They had sent basically not like 90% of their military over here, so because of this, things are not going to go well for them, as Cyprus will push in and take a lot of this quickly. They'll push down and take this major city, and if that wasn't bad enough, the Lime Team's navy is being revealed to not be nearly as strong as people thought, as the Swiss are destroying it a lot, along with the Green Team. And if that wasn't bad enough, there are also ships showing up over here now, as there's more ships showing up over here now, as navies of this team here is being completely destroyed. And they're all now being ships sent from these countries up here down there, now that they have control over this area here. It's kind of hard to see with that. Sorry about that. But with that, well, the Iberians have pushed all the way and taken these islands here, along with Green, and it's pushing, taking all this. With this, we will see the Iberians take this island back, and then invade and take this island here, followed by this island here. Meanwhile, up here in Sardinia, the dark green team will continue to push in and take this major city. They will then push down over here and take this and take the entire island. Meanwhile, over here, we see some allies of these countries join, those being this country here, which will join on the side of the Six Star Alliance, as they are friends with Egg, aka Switzerland. And while it won't help out too much, it will still help out a bit. But the Egg and Green Italy troops are pushing down as they take all this and surrounding the capital. With this, the king will escape on a boat before the navy of the green team comes in and gets naval control over this. They also get full naval control over Sardinia. And the Lime Team Navy is collapsing as they continue and you get pushed into. Up here, the Green Team will take full control over this. And soon after, the capital will fall as the Green Team continues to push down with help from the Swiss. Along with that, Germany and the Dutch are also sending their troops here. Their goal is push the Lime Team out of Europe before they invade into Africa. And, well, a country wants some really old land back, and I mean like over 1,000 years old, that being Greece, as they will push into the Lime Team and take back this over here. Now, the Lime Team did not have any troops there, as they had taken them all over here. The Yugo ships have arrived and are pushing into the Grey Team's navy as they push in over here, but the Grey Team will be able to push them back a bit. Yugo will push against them, and going back over here, we see the Red Team continue to push into the Green Team, taking their capital and taking a bunch more land. The Yellow Team will send troops to help out, but it won't go well. And with Sinai and the Yellow Team and the Green Team taking a lot of their troops out along with the Gray Team, now things are not going to go well for Rome Thidge, as they just completely lose all of this, getting kicked out of the Italian peninsula, and before the king can escape again, the navy of the Green Team will come down here and completely surround it. They also take all of this. The king had fled to Sicily after the attack on the capital, and now Sicily's being pushed into, as the king inside of the city, as it is taken, the king is found and captured, and most likely will be killed. Along with that, this sound here is captured, and a landing is made in Africa over here, as they start to push in over here. Meanwhile, I'm not going to show them as they're not really naval fronts, but these other countries are going to start making landings in these countries down here. It starts out with the Dutch taking these islands here. They will then make landings over here in this country, as they land here and take all of this, and here and start pushing down. Along with that, we will see a landing made by the Red Team over here, where they'll land here and start pushing in. this country here is incredibly weak, so they will lose their capital fast, and it won't take long for them to get completely wiped out by the red team. Along with that, the Dutch are making more landings along here that start connecting up to each other and taking all of this down here. The Dutch will push over here, taking the capital, and this country will fall over to the Dutch pretty quickly. With that, these two are wiped out, and things not looking good. Over here, the dark gray team will push the red team back, pushing them completely out of them, and pushing into their ally, and getting most of their ally freed. They will then start their own invasion into the red team as they push in and take this major city here, and then push into these provinces here. Over here, Cyprus continues to push along here as they get over to this major city here. However, when they get to this, Sinai will start a push back as they push them back over here. They're also making an attempt to get this city, but it will not go successful. They will push back over here a bit, though. Meanwhile, though, down here, the red team takes this major city here. And, well, if that wasn't bad enough for the countries, for the square countries, as I'll just call them, some naval ships have shown up here, those being the Green France's naval ships. They push and surround this island before they take it. Soon after, we see another navy show up, that being Brittany's navy. However, before they show up, over here, the yellow team will push back against Green France, but soon after, Brittany shows up as the navy starts pushing in over here, and they hook up over here to this land. And as that happens, the French will start pushing over here. They'll surround this island here, and they'll push to over here. Once there, they will make a landing as they take this major city and start pushing up. They'll also push into this Green Nation and take this major city, as the red team also continues to push down around here, taking this major city. Soon after, this country will fall, and Green France is going to push the yellow team mostly out of here. If that wasn't bad enough, Brittany has made a landing, and they push up and take this major city. They then start pushing along the coast, and they get over to the capital. Green France will push them completely out of here. Brittany will surround the capital, and an update on the navies, it's not going well for the yellow team, as the navy map now looks something like this. Also, and this over here is just like in the ocean again at this point. They just pulled all the ships back a bit They pulled the ships back a bit, and then afterwards they got destroyed by... You know what? Their Navy's going to die soon anyways. Might as well just do it. But soon after, the capital will fall, and that's the wrong color. Soon after, the capital will fall, and with that, the Brittany team will start pushing further in, taking a lot of these major cities here. And we will see the yellow team fall. Another team has been knocked out, and over here in Africa, things are not going well for the Lion team either, as they get pushed. Their navy is just destroyed. This is both Swiss and the Green Italian team, but I'm just going to call it green because why not? Their navy has been just destroyed, and on land things are not going much better as more landings are about to be made. As landings get made all on the coast, that then just pushes in. Soon after, the European forces will push up against this navy, and they will make a landing in the city of... That's not the right way. Dillon here, as we see the Battle of Dillon happen. Which will end with the Europeans winning. This green now just represents all the Europeans. Soon after, another landing is made in this major city here. It's captured. These two landings will hook up, and they'll go down. This is the Swiss, actually, who go down here and take this area here that the Swiss wants to use to make a canal. They will then push over to this major city and take it. And, well, here we see the purple team invade the other purple team. Yeah, that makes sense. As Yorkland, I think it's called, Yoyland, will invade into Sinai, and with Yoyland invading from one end, Cyprus from the other, and the Europeans from another, the capital will get pushed down to by the Europeans. It will get captured. In fact, it's Dutch troops that actually capture it, or they do most of the work there. But this country is going to fall. And, well, at this point, it's just it was just the desert left in the Lion team, so they fall. Over here, this has been happening the entire time, but this country, it actually fell before, but the Europeans over here have destroyed them. And shortly before the fall of Sinai and the Lion team, they fell. With this, it's just these three down here, and, well, the Europeans are about to make landings. I'm just going to make it the green color still. Europeans make landings over here. They actually get permission from the orange team to make landings down here and invade from it, which the pink team was not expecting. That they knew that the South African Union had betrayed them, and not helped them out, but they were not expecting them to just straight up let the Europeans go through them to invade from over here, so that surprised them, and they got destroyed. They're also not that strong, so they get destroyed quickly. With the fall of them, the Europeans will start pushing in over here as they take all of this colony here from the Grey Team, and then invade and take this country out. With that, the only people left here, other than South Africa, are Europeans. But the Grey country up here is not going to surrender that easily. Going back over here, their navy has been completely destroyed. Their navy has been completely destroyed with all of the Europeans helping out now. With that, the Europeans are going to make landings with the with Yugo landing down here and the rest landing up here. Make this more accurate. It looks something like this. Green just being European now. This is also completely gone. And European ships will start pushing over here as they surround the Sri Lanka, which has the capital city on it. The navy of the Grey Team is completely destroyed. The Red Team pushes the Grey Team out of them. With this, they will continue the invasion of this green country here that falls pretty quickly. And both the Europeans down here and the Red Team up here start pushing in. The Europeans, the Grey Team's military was basically completely dead at that point from fighting over here, so that's why they fell so quickly. They did still have a bunch over here in Sri Lanka though, where they will manage to hold out, but the colony over here will be taken by this country here, which takes their colony over here. The Grey Team will never officially surrender, but the Europeans will consider this a victory. So here we have the peace treaty. As you can see, Africa looks very different. But anyway, starting over here, the country that was here is completely gone, as it was split between all of these countries here. There's Scotland getting this area down here, Port getting this area here, this Paint country getting this area here, which it also got a bit of the Lime Team's colony, which we'll talk about more about the Lime Team later. How you might notice this country here, and it's not the exact shade of blue, but if you remember in episode 11, there was a country here called like Goiki or something, and they are back. Now, why is a country from over 1,000 years ago back? Because I wanted it to be, that's why. Anyways, obviously, not the same Goiki. It's called that because the regions of, where the capital was in the old country that was here before the war was called that, along with there was a part of the Lime Team was called that, which they got. Anyways, talking more about the Lime Team, they have seen way better days. They they went from having like they had like all, not, well, not quite all of it, but like all of this, something like that. Now it's just this, and also all of these nations here in southern Italy, this will actually divide up between the children of the king. Yes, these are all ruled by kids of all of the lords of these are siblings, which is probably not the best idea, as it will make it so these nations are pretty close. But here's another fun fact: only the king of this Lime nation and the queen of this nation here are actually between the king and queen of the Lime nation. The two will actually cheat on each other a lot with other rulers, so the leaders of this blue country, this country over here, and this country over here, and this, and the Sicily country are all half siblings of these two. These two being the only two that are just normal siblings and not half siblings. Anyways, though, the land in Africa was divided between these. With all of Africa other than South Africa being controlled by European powers now. Anyways, though, this country has also seen better days, as it was split between the red, brown, and Swiss country. And technically the war never ended, but which is why they still exist, but the Swiss and Dutch just split up anyways, though. Anyways, Ugo got a bit of land down here. Germany has their colony here. Egg has a bunch of colonies around the place. The most important to them being this one here, where they're going to dig a canal. That way they can trade with the red team better. These two, the green French team and the red, Brittany team are not happy with each other. Also, I have not removed all the capitals yet. That should be gone. Same with this over here. But yeah, Cyprus and Yoiland expanded. Yoiland now has access to both the Persian Gulf and the Red Sea. Anyways, though, one final thing, I would like to say that I have fixed Ireland. After the revolution, I forgot to move the capital over to Dublin, which is where the revolution started, so that's why it's there now. And also, it is a democracy now, which it became after the revolution. I forgot to change that. Anyways, though, with the war over, and we will be seeing the rest of Africa get colonized in the next episode, but the Africa's explored land is not quite correct, as a lot of this coastal land has been explored, and they know like the shape of the continent, but they don't know a lot of this, what like the inside looks like quite yet. But like all of this over here has been explored, just no one ever colonized it, well, at least not yet. In the next episode, well, there will be no more unclaimed land in Africa, as we will see the finishing of the Alton Conference / treaty. The Alton Treaty was the treaty after this war. The Alton Conference is to divide up Africa. We'll see the rest of the conference in the next episode. But until then, thanks for watching, and goodbye.